All right, cool. So let's do our quick highlight reel. So again, it's week 7 of February 15th of February. So hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day. And we'll go over announcement for the upcoming Saturday session. We'll look at a few idiots of the week. This is kind of like 2022 and 23, where Russian oligarchs are jumping out windows and whatnot. And we finally have some serious casualties. So we'll talk about that. And this is from Africa. And then we got some insane threads that I found on Reddit, and I'm happy to look to take a peek at that. And then just for fun, here's some non-idiocy that we'll talk about. And if you guys ever hung out with me, Warren always has a pen and a notebook and is writing down everything. Whether I read it or not is something else, but I'm at least writing it down. So saw a cool study on Zero Hedge about that. And then here's our usual SVOG unofficial iron trading rules. So that's always a good reminder. We'll do our usual market and index overview in just a bit. And then we'll look at AAII sentiment data, which is always fun. We'll look at our fear and greed index from CNN, specifically the market breadth indicator. And then we got fun snapshots of the Stock Traders Almanac. We'll look at February, of course, and also take a look down the pipeline and look at March. And next, we'll look at sector rotation. And just in time, Berkshire Hathaway has a very interesting 13F that just got announced. And we'll take a look at how he's implementing sector rotation in his own way. So we've been looking at tech a lot and energy stocks. And interestingly enough, Buffett is reflecting our week-to-week sentiment very closely. So we'll take a look at that. And lots of explosive earnings. Lyft has had so many shenanigans, a very expensive typo. Now, whether this is deliberate or not is very interesting. And like the good Italian phrase, cui bono, who benefits? And then I have to think about what's Uber doing on the other side from their Persian CEO. So we'll take a look at those potential shenanigans and their newly announced dividend payment. And then we'll take a look at swaggy stocks and see what the kids are trading. And we'll look at the rest of our news cycle. And in the econ space, we have our updated Black Swan list, and we'll see if we can add to this at all. And then we have our theaters of war, and I added Egypt into it since that's about to pop off. And then we had explosive CPI news, which created a nice Monday bloodbath. And we'll look at GDP growth across the world as well, and got to lots of domestic econ news for you guys to look at the household level, credit card level, and of course, auto delinquencies, which we really like from post 08 to 2010. And then we'll try to figure out where we are on the emoji guide to investing. It's been quite the roller coaster. And we'll look at, of course, our collective toilet paper markets with IOUs. And we'll start with explosive crypto activity, and we'll see why guys like me are sad about our gold holdings, but folks are rotating that money into crypto in a big way. And we'll look at specific numbers, and also we'll look at the Ethereum summer ETF race and see how that's shaken up. And Franklin Templeton joins the field. Cool. And then lots of domestic news. We have some initial updates on tax refund info, and that looks quite depressing. And we'll talk a lot about the Super Bowl briefly. And I put on a brief bet I shared on Discord, and it has been a intense circus from top to bottom. So we'll look at those specifics and some fun conspiratorial stuff that I found, which is always fun. Cool. And we'll look at local news. Finally, the AI wars against Skynet has kicked off. So we'll take a look at Waymo cars getting beaten and lit on fire. And we'll look at other shenanigans with the homeless industrial complex in San Francisco. And we'll look at the latest US retail sales figures from January. And we'll take a look at other fun stuff like ESG, also having a lot of money rotating out of that huge sector. And we have more plane news for you guys, of course. We'll look at Boeing and JetBlue with a new entrant into the field with corporate raider ICANN showing up to pick up JetBlue. So we'll look at how that New York-based fleet will benefit or suffer. And then I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of illegal news pop up. Wow, that's not really tradable. I just want to at least go over this one thing as a parallel to historical data with the fall of the Roman Empire. So we'll look at, yeah, giving badges and military uniforms to barbarians. It's not a good thing. So we'll take a look at that parallel with the 4th and 5th century fall of the Western Roman Empire. And then other fun news, Walmart is looking to get into the smart TV world, and we'll look at specifics there. And of course, we'll take a look at Hertz car sales since we're looking at their 20,000 fleet liquidation that's been popping off for about the last month. And we'll take a look at the cheapest cars that you can find for Model 3s, as well as the highest mileage. And we're still waiting to break 100,000 miles. So I consolidated all of our last screenshots, and we'll take a look at today's market. Cool. And then getting out of Tesla news, we will look at the latest in woke trading, and we'll see how Coors is trying to eat Bud Light's lunch. And then this is always fun. We like to look at the best-selling cars, so we'll look at that kind of data. We should probably take a peek at the used car Manheim index data from the Chicago school. So that'll be a good reminder to take a peek. And real estate is literally on fire. So lots of commercial real estate calamities. We'll take a look at more specifics. We'll look at best and worst metros for the residential side. And we saw this pop up in the Midwest. This 250,000 square foot complex sold for $9 a square foot. And if you've ever priced commercial real estate, that is maybe just a little bit higher than the monthly rate, at least in the Bay Area. So to sell an entire building at that rate is insane. So we'll take a look at that. Lots of tech news, explosive stuff happening, and I got a nice spectrum here. So we'll look at the S&P that excludes tech data, and you'll see that it's trading at an all-time low. And we'll look on the other side of the AI mania, where NVIDIA and Supermicro is trading like hotcakes. Thanks, Cola. And our anti-inflation Pluto makes an appearance. And then I wanted to keep the screenshot from Ross last week on the parallels between Bitcoin, Tulip Media, and NVIDIA. And we should probably add a Supermicro one on the side. Cool. So take a look at that. Lots of AI articles with great charts. So we'll take a look at that. Cisco is also having some problems, and that's definitely adjacent to all of this. And then we'll look at an unfortunate loser in this latest semiconductor blitz, with Michael Burry losing not his shirt, but let's say an undershirt at least in his shorts on semis. So we'll take a look at that. Toyota is ramping up to divest out of EVs, as we've spoken about in the past, and we'll see how they're posing to really take over the field. Yet the pundits say the EV slowdown isn't over yet, but we'll take a closer look at that. And meanwhile, in Korea, I found out that only one Tesla was sold in all of January. So that's hilarious. And then we'll take a look at Mexican Barbie doll expert Jeff Bezos selling off his shares to finance all of that plastic fantastic. So we'll take a look at that. And we'll take a look at Apple Vision Pro, which is now popping up as at least in the Google Trend searches for the phrase is return Apple Vision Pro. So that's erupting, and users are complaining about all kinds of things. And we talked about this before, that the static focal point is extremely unenjoyable. So we'll see how that goes. And then Zuckerberg also posted a video of his critique. And definitely a huge conflict of interest there. But the one key thing he didn't say was his product, the Quest 3, does pornography. So we'll take a look at that. And then surprise, surprise, AI girlfriends are toxic and are milking you for your data. In case you didn't know that, we'll take a look at those specifics. And in the labor market, we did talk about Cisco laying off some folks. We'll take a look at the latest total layoff data as an aggregate. And then, yeah, Good stuff there. Lots of international news. Officially, the UK and Japan are in a recession while their markets are flaming hot. So quite the melt up there. We'll take a general peek at the Tucker Carlson and Putin interview. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but I've read the transcript and it's quite interesting. So we'll take a look at that. And in response to this, it's interestingly enough, a natural gas pipeline has exploded in Iran. And what terrorist elements have been a part of that? It's very curious. And one Zero Hedge comment noted that this keeps happening when natural gas dips below $2. So I'd love to get Dave's input on that since he's our natural gas expert there. Cool. And then I thought this title was hilarious. Who had Russian nukes in space under election year disruption bingo card? So that's always fun. So we'll take a look at that. And just a quick reminder that we also have non-nuclear ballistic weapons in space. We'll look at the rods of God and look at those tungsten rods that are the size of telephone poles and check that out. And then the real betrayal of the Putin interview, or yeah, the real treachery is Boris Johnson's hairstylist, because he's still rocking that hobo chic outfit, or if you can call this a outfit, but yeah, whatever. He's been called out for scuttling the proposed peace offer from 18 months ago. So we'll take a look at that. And I thought I found an interesting container ship breakdown of trade on Zero Hedge. So I pasted it here, and it's a little bit long. We'll take a look at that though. Cool. And then US has been ramping up oil production in a big way, and we'll take a look at numbers. And then on the gold front, we kind of covered this in the crypto portion, but a lot of money's been rotating out of gold into crypto. So we'll take a look at specifics as well. I posted a nice chart here from Gainesville coins. And lots of fun Chinese news. The market is technically frozen there still due to the Lunar New Year. And we'll look at other fun things there. And this was a highlight from last week with the oldest professional world affecting all of the unemployed youth there. So kind of interesting service sector evolution at night, I guess. But yeah, we'll look at total war tactics of China. And they're really going for the propaganda arm, of course. And what else we're looking at? Oh, we'll look at border crossings for Chinese illegals. And it is insane. In the last month and a half, we've already breached 2023 totals altogether. So year to date, 2024 has exceeded 2023. So it's insane. And we'll look at the birth rate shenanigans happening in China. And supposedly 60% of China will die by 2100. So it's going to be a really interesting Asian continent there. And we talked about solar panels before in China, and we'll look at the latest updates there. And banned Chinese Bitcoin farmers have moved to Ethiopia to get cheaper power there. So Belt and Road Initiative is quite diabolical. And no surprises here, but Chinese espionage is still alive and well. So we'll take a look at that. And Xi Jinping supposedly has pancreatic cancer, and he might be dying relatively soon. So we'll see. He's been noted to lose a lot of weight, and he's been quite wobbly on his feet, among other things. So we'll take a look at all of that. I forgot to add the article here, but we'll write it in. Xi Jinping, pancreatic cancer. Okay, cool. All right, so that's our highlights, and let's kick off with our poll for the week and see where everyone thinks the market will go by next Thursday. Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
You forgot how Waymo runs into tow trucks.
Is that a new article?
That hit a couple days ago in Phoenix. I guess a tow truck was towing a car, and Waymo doesn't understand what a towed car behind a tow truck is, and it ran into the car. Maybe two Waymos ran into the same car.
Wow.
Oh, wow. If only our LiDAR expert, Amr Khan, was here to explain this to us. Okay, excellent. All right, I found the article, I think. Okay, interesting. Okay. Thank you, Larry. And you should see a poll for the S&P. So let us know where you think the market will be by next Thursday. Okay, all right. We got everyone's participation. Let me share the results. So we got 57% bullish and 43% sideways. All right.
We should
X.
also take a poll of SMCI and NVIDIA with the earnings.
Yeah, oh my God, that has been insane. Let's take a look. So here's NVIDIA. It's recovered nicely since the open today. And 732, man, insane. And let's look at Super
Wow.
Micro, SMCI.
Only up 100 again today, 12%.
986. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So
And Warren,
yes,
you were saying that the money flow is still coming in
it is
for
still coming in.
SMCI?
Right. So if you
Wow.
look at on balance volume here for momentum, it hasn't slowed down. And folks are trying to cap it and short it. And I think that is a little bit early. So we did have some red dojis here about like an hour ago, but market just ripped right past of that. And we go to the analytics. We'll look at today's option stats, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's go to options, close the option chain. All right, here we go. So people are trying to short it. So I posted a screenshot earlier about an hour ago. It was 0.88 on the put call ratio. People are trying to catch this, but they're getting their face ripped off. So I think it's a little premature. And these folks are young bears, so they don't know how to play this. But yeah, this is still going. This is just all just green candles all the way. So until you see this curve go the other way, this will continue. So, but again, don't etch that into stone. That's just at least my point of view. But yeah,
Or I was thinking like buy put way out, maybe to around June or something, back to the level where it sort of broke out. 2 or 3 months out.
hard to say. I mean, you bring up an interesting point. Let's fast forward a little bit. There was someone similar to this with NVIDIA. So I found this beautiful thread on Wall Street Bets that said shorting NVIDIA at 740 is literally free money at this point. Um, I don't know. That's, I mean, again, we don't really suggest naked positions. But yeah, this is kind of dangerous. So, there is no free money in general. So anything can happen. I mean, if we look at the volatility, right? So let's look at the volatility just for ending tomorrow. It's 163%. So we could go plus or minus 71 bucks just on one standard deviation. But that's a lot of explosive direction in any direction. So let's look at NVIDIA and see what the front vol is for that. Okay, it's a little bit better at 55% for tomorrow, but then next week goes back up to 102. So that's still substantial. And even I've thrown in the towel, and I have a couple longs on NVIDIA as well. So just trying to milk the trade. But yeah, I think Supermicro has the same thing happening. So it's going to keep going forward before it goes down. But hard to say. I'm curious to see if anyone else has a good take. Maybe Kurt, if you're also tracking this closely.
Yeah,
How are you playing this?
well, one of the things that is interesting, if you take a look, I have an order in for on SMCI for a March, April calendar. Because you're selling the front month vol and buying a back month lower vol.
Yeah.
But the
So
question is you got to be directionally correct for
yeah.
a calendar, and so I'm thinking it's going to come down a little bit. But if you take a look, what do I have my orders for? What do I got? I'm splitting it. I got a 450 call.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take a look at the analysis curve, if it comes down a little bit, you're still profitable. You don't have to hold it the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
So Kurt, you are doing, what is it, 450 call for, is it March? You sold
April,
April.
selling and then buying the March.
So you're buying the March 450,
Yeah. Yeah, it's-
450 call.
Yeah.
You're buying the 450 call,
And selling the April 450 call.
450 for
And
a calendar. Okay.
Right.
And
So-
is that a credit or
No,
debit?
it's a debit.
What's a debit for that?
It's tracking about $7.20 right now.
7 something. Okay. 450 March and April.
Yeah.
but that's a deep in the money calendar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm expecting it to go down off these.
You're betting,
Mhm.
right? You're betting it to go down a lot. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
By April. Yeah.
Yeah.
By April.
Milking the vol crush here. Yeah. I think that's very shrewd.
If you're playing the calls, you risk getting assigned overnight on that. Might want to look
Yeah.
at the puts because it's out of the
Mm.
money.
Right. Okay.
It happened to me on something else, on like a cheap calendar, and then I got assigned overnight, so I had to exercise the long to get out of it.
I see.
Mhm.
But on this, it would be quite an expensive exercise. I mean, to wake up to
Simon.
100 shares of SMCI.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
gonna scare you a little bit. Yeah. So yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
I got,
can do the same, but with puts, and then it's the same outcome with no risk of assignment.
Yeah.
so you do it on the put side, right, Flav?
So yeah, you
Yeah,
could
same strike.
But on the put side,
450 puts.
Mhm.
right?
It's out of the
450
money.
put, 450 put for March, and then 450. Wait, you buy the 450 put for March?
Yeah, it's the same.
So
You
you
swap the calls to a put. Whatever Kurt said, you swap the calls to a put.
to the put to avoid assignment risk.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
450. Hmm. I got assigned this morning. Oh, geez, on Marriott, because I did a earnings on it, and I tried to get out of it yesterday, and I woke up this morning, and I got assigned on that. It was like $245.
And
Marriott.
and you don't trade non-directional at all, right? For earnings?
No,
Oh.
I do directional, but I
Oh my God.
yeah. So that was like $24,000.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. And I was like, what the heck?
Okay.
Oh man.
But yeah, let me paste this in the chat. So this is a kind of an interesting little thread here. But yeah, we'll jump back to our idiots of the week in just a second. But yeah, let's announce our upcoming meeting for this Saturday. All right. All right, cool. So we got a couple board members talking about specific strategies and indicators they're using. So it's quite the spread. So let's see specifics. How are they reading the market and individual stocks and ETFs? What strategies are they trading? How are they finding their trades? How are they thinking about their entry and or exits? And what tools are they using to help them decide? So yeah, it'll be a fun panel. It's very toss focused. And then we got our Discord group, as you guys know, and we have our SVOG Skype groups, which is a little bit more wealth chart centric, but I think will be particularly fun and useful for you guys. All right, cool. So let me drop that in the chat. So that's coming up Saturday at 9 o'clock. And excellent. Cool. So yeah, back to idiots of the week. So we talked about free money at shorting NVIDIA. And after this guy was hilarious. So this guy, just look at this title. I am a consistently unprofitable options trader with about a year of experience. Ask me anything. I managed to
consistently
consistently,
unprofitable.
yeah, I managed to consistently take the wrong trades, sell or buy at the wrong times, and accumulate big losses when I could have made big gains on the same trades.
I would ask him what's his next trades and do the opposite.
Yeah, I want
I
to
know, I know. Let
Uh,
me up that actually. On
Yeah,
second thought,
that's a good one.
actually, can I pay
What's the
you?
next trade? We'll do
Can I
the
pay to
opposite.
subscribe to your order flow? I always want to know your next trade
So I can do the opposite.
because reasons.
Goodness.
Because reasons. All right, let's see if he responds to me. So I did respond to this guy. So let me show you guys my thread here. Where did it go? Okay, so one guy asked, "Are you wheeling something?" And he's like, "Wheeling, yeah. I sold a covered call on Mara a few days ago. Down 300 so far. Got to maintain a consistent unprofitability." And if you know about the wheeling strategy, you want something that's neutral or slightly bullish at best. And Mara is anything but, stable for running a
Super
wheel.
Wani,
volatile.
is it you? Wani, is it you?
Is this
Yes,
Ronnie?
not me. Not me. No.
So yeah, this is
No.
Mara. It's like what is its
So,
beta?
uh,
Its beta is
super volatile.
1.65. So it moves that much more than the S&P at 1. So it's quite, insane. So that's fun. And then I chimed in and then I asked him what's his trading plan. Let me show you the thread. Let me fast forward.
Did he answer?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's a good thread. It's pretty active. Yeah, where is it? It's on the bottom. When you mention the words trading plan, it's never upvoted, so folks don't really like to hear that. Come
No
on.
plans.
That's right. That's right. Come on. Trader plan. Okay, let me plan. Oh, here we go. Finally, 19 hours ago. So I asked him, do you have written trading plans? Do you have bookkeeping? What's your Sorrentino ratio? Shout out to Rob Walker there. And he says, do scribbles on a sheet of paper count? Have been noting my losses on the mobile notes app, but for the last days at least. Sorrentino ratio probably negative 0.69. And then I said, okay, well, thanks for buying the options I sell, sending thoughts and data decay. No prayers, just thoughts of data decay. So yeah, if he responds and is willing to share his order flow, I will obviously post on Discord and share it with the rest of you guys. So I thought this was hilarious. So yes, the options community on the options subreddit on Reddit is also quite the treasure trove. All right, so that's Indie of the Week number 2. Let's go to number 3. And I love reading like these threads because you can kind of segregate the community. So you got the options folks, the futures folks, the Forex folks, and then you got the rookies who are just, spray and pray with stocks. Like they can only do long common stock and they don't know anything else in their toolbox. So I saw this pop up about 3 days ago and I'll paste this in the chat. So, this guy's asking, engineer rookie, is the S&P 500 still a safe bet at the moment? And like, it just blows my mind to even ask the question. We're playing with 5,000, S&P and, they think it's still going to go up. And you try to look at their analysis and it's just garbage, whatever, mud on the wall. It doesn't even matter what they say. It's just the fact, like if you ask the wrong questions, the answers don't matter. So you can obviously tell like this guy is really clinging to, that all-time high and hoping it continues. And you look at everyone else's comments and it's just, is it safe? Yes. All-time high? Yes. But don't be afraid of red when sell-off happens. Like, this is just crazy talk. They don't have there's no exit plan for any, bad or good or neutral scenario. And it's just the blind leading the blind. So it's just
Wait. That's an investment advisor. What you've been talking about is the strategy of an investment advisor.
Yeah, God bless them. What can I say? But yeah, so I like to look at all the related subreddits. I like the personal finance, the options, the data gang, investing, economics, like all of the stuff. And there's always like these normies that just are fooling themselves. So Yeah, the voice of reason in these kind of forums is pretty rare. So it's just always nice to remind myself, like, I'm so grateful to be able to sell volatility and trade options. Cool. So yeah, good stuff there. All right. So those are the 3 trading idiots of the week. And then I got some Super Bowl idiots of the week. So that's always fun. All right. So let's see. So this was a 49ers fan. So he says, I don't give a fuck. I maxed out some credit cards to help make sure it ain't just corporate snobs attending. Repping Maui and the Bay Area. And we talked about the Super Bowl prices. Tickets on the secondary market start at the low $8,000 and $9,000. And this guy looks like he has some amazing seats. So he's playing with what?
Wow.
24% APR for what? To lose, to watch the 49ers lose a rigged game. It's
Wait a
hilarious.
minute. Now, what does the 49ers loss mean for the S&P?
It's less about the S&P and more about the Oval Office, which is the real prize. So this is really a setup.
No. There used to be the Super Bowl prediction for the market.
Oh, I'm new to this. Super Bowl prediction stock market. Where would one find such
People don't
data?
talk about it anymore, but that was popular 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, Leonard Kobit? Super Bowl victory by the AFC team predicts a bear market. Oh, so yeah, we're in the melt up. Wow, you're on the money here, Larry. Holy cow.
Well, victory for American.
Yeah. So this is basically West Coast versus East Coast. So yeah. Interesting. Let me drop this link in the chat. Very...
Hey, Warren, I didn't quite get it. So what happened?
Oh, okay. So they divide up the divisions, you know, like West Coast versus East Coast. So
Okay.
the AFC is like mostly West Coast teams, and then NFC is East Coast. So if the East Coast wins, then it predicts a bull market. And, you know, we're having a massive melt up with cheap money. So that makes a lot of sense.
So because Chiefs won, the
Yes.
market is bullish.
Right.
Oh, because of the East Coast.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, it's technically Midwest, but they're in that side
Yeah.
of the league.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
Wow.
nobody's published the percentages as to how good that has been. I've seen in the last 10 years. So I wonder,
Oh,
it
percentage.
used to
the
work
prediction.
really well.
We need our
Ah,
we need our whatchamacallit, our back testing expert Rob Walker.
Rob.
Yeah, let me drop this in the chat and tag him.
Those stats need to be updated.
We can make a SVOG blog and update this. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe a SVOG blog, back tested stats on victories and the S&P. Okay, that'd be cool. Awesome.
You could ask in Reddit and they'll do the work.
Yeah, or 4chan, and that'd
Yeah.
be great. Yeah, ask Reddit or 4chan to do the work. Cool. Awesome. And then we have this Nigerian billionaire bank chief on the way to the Super Bowl, catch a Kobe Bryant helicopter crash in the Mojave Desert.
Whoa.
And Nigeria is the first country in Africa to launch CBDC, only one of 5 countries worldwide, and he died for that privilege. Suspicious, you can decide for yourself, but as they say, at least in politics and finance, there's no accidents. But yeah. So yeah. Not quite as fun as a Russian oligarch, you know, drinking toad soup or tea, but definitely will pick up some casualties. So yeah. If anything, stay away from helicopters, right? But yeah, and then with the Kobe Bryant thing, he had some anti-child trafficking case that he was a part of. So you know, getting rid of him definitely serves those darker interests. So I mean, we don't get too deep into that conspiracy, but you should know about that at least. All right, cool. Anti-idiocy fact of the week is writing notes by hand increases brain connectivity. So yeah, if you guys have seen me, I always have like a notebook and a pen, and that's just, you know, just my MO. All right,
Totally
cool.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
I did it for 15 years.
my grandkids learned cursive themselves because they weren't being taught in school and they just wanted to learn it.
Yeah, I think it's unholy that they don't teach cursive because teachers are idiots themselves for the most part in public schools.
Well, I think it's starting to come back, but there was this period where the idiots in Sacramento said, "Oh, we don't need to teach that."
Nuts. Yeah, totally nuts.
Well,
And
actually writing on paper is really effective. It helps you think.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you want to use as many senses as possible. So, even where you write, the room you study in, like those are all like unconscious triggers for the learning process, and especially for recall memory. All
Right.
kinds of good stuff.
Right.
All right, cool. So let's take a look at the market. We got some interesting stats already kicking off here. So as we've been looking at the put call ratio for all the indexes, here's the future side of the S&P 500. And immediately a put call ratio of 3.1 is very high. And we know this likes to live at fair value of about 1.4. So this is the smart money setting up hedges or straight out shorts. And looking at the deltas, these are the Hail Mary, low probability but high payout zone here. So 81% of those bets are stacked here. So is 50-38 sustainable? Not according to this side of the smart money. And let's look at on balance volume and see if that figure has changed. No, still a lot of inflow and it hasn't really slowed down. It's very steady and strong. But in the short term, maybe there's some blips along the way. All right, let's look at SPX, the second tier of smart money with the big boy option contracts. Let's see what the market data here is for today's analytics. And we're seeing a normal trading day, 1.3. A very normal day. The sizzle index is still broken, and it was also broken on the future side. But yeah, normal trading day optimism. And let's go to SPY, and that's probably going to be like 1.0 or something, maybe even lower. And this is the supposed dumb money, the retail side. So let's look at this side and come on, let's load. 1.189, so about 1.2. So a little bit more optimistic than SPX, but not by much. Looks like retail's a little skittish. I'm sure people are having early 2000s and 2008 flashbacks as Supermicro and Nvidia are flaming up there. And since tech's on our mind, and let's look at the NASDAQ. And we'll see interesting parallels with XLK for sector rotation when we look at that in just a bit. So this is also very optimistic for today, 1.0. So almost parity between calls and puts. And the deltas are fairly non-urgent. So yeah, looks like pronounced optimism, at least in the tech sector. Let's go to the schizophrenic corner of the asylum here, and the mental asylum, and look at the Russell 2000. And as we know, the Russell 2000 is a little bit schizophrenic. It's off its meds, and it loves to overreact. And today is no exception. A flaming 2.20. It's just balls to the walls here. And let's look at the numbers. Wow. This is usually a very pessimistic 2.3, and that's fair value for that. And we're actually almost half of that. So this amount of optimism is a bit shocking. So we're seeing a divergent marketplace. So the smartest tier of S&P futures is extremely bearish, and everyone else here is going long. And we'll see who's going to be swimming, who's going to be found out swimming naked in the ocean here in just a bit. And just for fun, we got to look at the diamonds. This is the kid that likes to eat glue in the corner. It's not very, it's not a high volume index, but still fun to look at. And usually this is the most optimistic of the indexes, but today it's a little bit bearish, 1.5 almost, and tiny volumes, as you can see. So we shouldn't read into it too much.
There was a comment made by Bubba several months ago about the diamonds that I remember.
Oh,
And he said that the big money likes to put when they're uncertain of the S&P, they rotate into the diamonds and then rotate back out again.
wow. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, I know. This comes from a floor trader, right?
Mm-hmm. So they rotate out of S&P into diamonds. Okay. Is that what like did he
And
mention
I've
like what
I've
kind of
sort of
pace?
seen a little bit of that, but I've never studied it.
Okay. I wonder if anyone's written about that. Let's see. S&P rotation diamonds. Brave probably hasn't indexed this very well. Let's see if Google knows anything. Da, da, da. Intraday diamond, no. No. Sector
Everybody wants to
rotation.
talk about sector rotation. They don't want to talk about index rotation.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Maybe search that term.
Index rotation. Okay. And if you guys aren't familiar with Bubba, let me give you his quick bio. He is also, yeah, as to Larry's point, former floor trader in the big boy trading pit, the SPX, the big money pit. And yeah, all kinds of good stuff there. So I'll drop in his website and I'll take a look at Flav's new link here in just a second. But yeah, let's look at index rotation. Index rotation diamonds. And let's search Google for that. Index rotation. Gosh, that is not a popular
You should
search term.
no, don't call it diamonds. Call it Dow Jones
Okay,
or
yeah, just
TJI,
Dow.
whatever the symbol is.
Okay, rotation strategies. Dow 30 strategy. Dow lags behind. So let's think about it mechanically, right? So we're talking about the top 500 and we're gonna rotate into the top 30. So supposedly the Dow Jones is more industrial focused. So an S&P you could say is a bit more tech heavy compared to the diamonds. So yeah, I could see the case. Now the timing and back testing would be fun to look at. Maybe that's another exercise for our back testing compatriots. So we want to look at maybe SPX rotation into diamonds. Okay, that would be fun. And we want to look up more research on index rotation. Interesting. Maybe if I dig up enough good data, we can squeeze this into Saturday. That would be kind of fun. Okay, cool. Thanks, Larry. You're full of gems today. Holy cow. All right. And let's look at the link that Flav just shared with us. Oh, cool. New Wall Street's bet discussion. Okay, let me add this to Wall Street bets. Wall Street bets, Wall Street bets. We'll get to that. Okay, cool. Thank you again. All right. Okay, so we looked at that. Oh, we forgot to look at the VIX. We got to go back to the VIX. We didn't look at that yet. And the VIX is still in an anemic 14.45. So on the human lifespan scale, it's still a minor. And yeah, it's stuck in middle school. No, this would be like freshman year, right? Yeah, 14 years old.
We touched what, 18 a couple of days ago?
Yeah. Brief spike up. I didn't have any trades on. I was very sad. But yeah, that was post CPI data right there. So yeah. Did anyone trade this? Maybe Dave? Did you short the VXX blindly when you saw that spike up? Oh, welcome Michael and Gordon as well. Dave might be away from his Dave might be away from his computer. But yeah, let me drop the notes if you want to follow along, dropping in the chat for you guys. So yeah, Gordon and Michael, if you want to grab that. Cool. But yeah, VIX did spike up and I'm really sad I missed that. So but yeah, VIX has not been a profitable trade if you've been carrying it for a long time. But yeah, fun stuff there. All right, let's go to AAII sentiment data. And this acronym is still a mouthful. It's the American Association of Individual Investors, lots of can slim folks here. All right.
No. That's buy and hold, folks. There's no can slim guys there.
Okay. Okay, that is too sophisticated. This is the buy and hold forever. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And
that's the buy and hold folks, the asset allocation folks, all those nitwits.
It's buy and hold, emphasis on old, OLD.
God bless them. Awesome. Well, so long as they buy insurance from us, I'm happy. So let's see. Last week was a flaming bullish week before CPI data came out, and the super core components flamed that out a nice 7 percentage points, and we're seeing a bit pick up here on the bearish side, and the neutral sector has expanded. So yeah, good stuff there. And let's look at the fear and greed index. And again, I'm mainly concerned with the stock breadth indicator here, or the McKellen oscillator. And just it's nice to glance at this number here. It kind of has been bouncing around in the 70s. So this is the aggregate readout. I disagree with the 125 moving average here, but that's what they like here. I don't know why. Maybe they have some back testing stuff we don't know about. Stock price strength is kind of cool to look at. Yeah, still pitching on extreme greed. And this is the comparison of 52-week highs compared to 52-week highs compared to those of 52-week lows. So still on that bullish side there. But yes, here's stock price breadth. So this is looking at the number of shares that are rising compared to the number of shares that are falling. So this kind of is more of a, I feel like it gives you a better finger on the pulse. And yeah, we're still kind of midway here. So they would say greed. I'd say that's neutral, honestly, but sure. And we talk about the put and call ratio to def, and it looks like their readout is about 0.72. And historically, 2019 and COVID was 2.0 plus. So we haven't hit, full integer values yet. So the knife isn't quite ready to be falling just yet. And here's their VIX and 50-day moving average. And here's that little minor blip here from post CPI data. But yeah, we're still in a very subdued marketplace overall. And haven't quite looked at junk bonds in a while, but yeah, looks like demand here though is indicating extreme greed. Okay, fun stuff. All right, let's look at the Stock Traders Almanac. Shout out to Jeffrey Hirsch. And let's see, reading February's notes here. February is the weak link in the best 6 months. Recent record, S&P up 10, down 5, average chance 0.6 of the last 15 years. It's the fourth best NASDAQ month in midterm election years, average gain of 1.0, blah, 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 blah. Day before President's Day weekend, S&P is down 17 of 26, up 11 straight from 92 to 02, and day after up 7 of the last 8. And many technicians modify market predictions based on January's market. And we do have President's Day coming up, right? So that's this coming Monday. Okay, yeah. So you could have a soft kind of holiday trade going here. And yeah, I guess in general, the markets tend to like an optimistic long weekend. And I forgot about that phenomenon for China. And China's on their week-long shutdown, so for the Lunar New Year's. And I was kind of bummed that I totally forgot about that. So even the China expert gets things wrong. So yeah, all good. And let's take a peek at March. Let's see. March, mid-month strength, late-month weakness are most evident above, and that's referencing this bar graph here. Recent record, this is the 2018 edition here, so I couldn't find newer screenshots online, and my hardcover is locked in storage at the moment. But yes, recent record, S&P 13 up, 8 down, average 1.8%, third best, blah, blah, blah. Rather turbulent in recent years with wild fluctuations and large gains and losses. March has been taking some mean end of quarter hits, down 1469 Dow points, March 9th to 22nd, 2001. And last 3 or 4 days, Dow is a net loser, 18 of the last 28 years. NASDAQ hard hit in 01, down 14.5% after a 22.4% drop in February. Third best NASDAQ month during midterm election years, blah, blah, blah. Third Dow month to gain 1,000 points in 2016. All right, could be choppy, so might be cool to hedge up a little bit. Awesome. And let's see. Sector rotation. Oh yeah, we'll take a look at Buffett's 13F after we look at our 11 subsectors of the S&P 500. So here's the 11 babies here. We have a nice 5-week tail. Each link here is 1 week. And if we go to the table view, communication stocks are the leader for the week. And again, this is slightly stale data from the 12th close. And losers include utilities and real estate. So looks like XLE is not the top loser at the moment. So we do see that reflected in the quadrant here. It is skating out of the lagging deepest part of the pool, and hopefully it will cross to the improving line. And let's see, real estate collapsing here. Here's tech here. So XLK, it's paralleling the NASDAQ quite closely. And let's see who else is doing well besides tech, communications, industrials, and financials. Okay, cool. And we can go to individual tickers. And if you guys have anything, happy to add that. We can just shout it out, or we can type in the chat. Let's add some miners here. We got Coinbase. What else would be fun? Let's look at natural gas. Anything else? Maybe gold. Okay. All right.
Coinbase has earnings
Yep.
after market today.
Yep.
Yeah.
High volatility.
Yep.
So it looks like natural gas is the #1 loser, if I'm correct. Yeah. The Widowmaker. Gold's been a disaster. Gold right now is 2005. Gold ratio was dancing at 91 for a second there the other day. And yeah, I'm on suicide watch with precious metals. So all good. Let's see, Upstart not doing well. Affirm is doing much better in the buy now, pay later sector. Tesla is still, yeah, trying to recover, not really, forming a new lower plateau. Let's see, Chinese stocks, of course, disaster, NIO, Baidu. Baba is better than the rest, ironically. Maybe that's Jack Ma coming back to the helm, but I don't think he's Steve Jobs, in his second coming of Jesus moment. So we'll keep our eye on that. And we do have Amazon in the news as Bezos sells off more stock to pay for his wife/mistress's constant plastic injections and whatnot. Oh, Supermicro. How can we forget that? We gotta have Supermicro.
And ARM. Can you put ARM too?
Oh,
ARM?
of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
SMIC ARM. Okay, cool. Wait, did I misspell it? What's Supermicro's
CI,
ticker?
SMCI.
SMCI.
Thank you, thank you. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. So the length of the line is an indicator of strength because these are 5-week tails. So long tails is a lot of movement, and especially Supermicro doubling its price is just bonkers. So yeah, Supermicro in a big way here. And this is Tuesday close data. This is missing 2 chunks of that. So this caps at like what? Oh wait. This includes, oh sorry. The chart readout includes today's data, but the actual sector rotation analytics is limited to February 12th. Okay, I see. Yeah, and then Palantir's been flaming up as well. Yeah. AMD not far behind, but it's not quite having the same effect. Yeah, good stuff there.
Wow.
Yeah.
SMCI up $105 today.
Only.
My,
Only.
wow.
Yeah, wow. Only.
Oh.
Good stuff.
Bubble. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Any other tickers you guys want to add on here, or we could visit this later once we have some other notables.
Mm.
Anything else, guys? Okay, no rush. We could always revisit. All good. Okay, let's jump back to our notes. Let's look at Warren Buffett's 13F. Let's see what he's buying and selling, especially without Charlie Munger dare to hold him back. All right. Oh, has anyone gone to the Woodstock for Capitalists in where's the in Omaha, Nebraska? Has anyone ever actually visited or gone to the big
No.
shareholder meeting? If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No.
The Warren Buffett meeting?
Yeah, the shareholders meeting.
No.
Berkshire, are they Berkshire Hathaway shareholder
You
meeting?
you got to be a long-term buy and hold proponent to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Warren, you should go just because your name is Warren.
Yeah, yeah. I should dress up as like the Grim Reaper and just show up, right? Scare him.
Because you're Warren. You're part of the family.
Part of the family, sweet Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I used to like reading his the letters, of course, and like the pre-2010 stuff was like really on point. But then later he gets kind of it just like it's a different vibe. But yeah, I have a collection of his writings. And if you guys want to learn more about Buffett, the best book is Snowball.
So,
Written by, was it Walter, what's his name? Isaacson? Oh no, it's written by Alice Schroeder. Yeah, this is the best biography. I've written basically every book about Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway just because of the name connection. But yeah, this is probably the most realistic biography, and he's painted as more of a human being, and you kind of see a lot of the chaos in the family and his insanity with how he manages his relatives and whatnot. And then you realize he's quite the monster once he becomes a board member of Goldman Sachs. Then everything goes to hell. So yeah, he becomes more of a grifter and less of a capitalist. But yeah, if you guys want to read it, this is like it's very long, but it's an excellent, more realistic portrayal of him. So yeah.
What's the publication date?
It is
You won't find
oh
it
wait. Oh wait.
necessarily.
oh, wait.
Oh wait, yeah.
So
Why?
it's pre
why-
it's
why the-
crash.
What? Go ahead.
Pre-crash.
Who was that?
2008 is pre-crash.
It is pre-crash. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
this is
pre-crash.
probably being written in 06, and then editing and whatnot takes forever. So yeah.
Warren, why the title Snowball?
Oh yeah, it's just, you know, his standard goal of 20% a year. So and his focus on retained earnings. And that's a leftover from Benjamin Graham of his security analysis days from Columbia. So his mentor of you know, fighting cheap cigar butts. But Warren Buffett was less cheap and just look for value. And he kept investing and focused on retained earnings, and that's, you know, hence the focus of a Snowball.
I also heard that he's quite a cheapskate.
Yeah, and he eats like a 5-year-old, like chicken nuggets
Yeah.
and like hamburgers and nothing
Coke.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But-
amazing. He could live to be this old eating junk food.
The
Right.
good die young, right? And the old
The good
evil
die
bastards.
young.
The old evil bastards live forever.
Yeah.
What's his
I don't
age?
understand that. He's like 90 some, 95, 90 some,
Maybe, yeah, somewhere around there.
95. Because his buddy Charlie Munger just died,
99,
right?
99, yeah.
He's 99.
Charlie Munger was 99.
No, Warren's
Oh.
not 99, is he?
Warren's 93, born in 1930.
93.
Ah,
Oh my God. So during the Great Depression.
He was old when
Which is
Vietnam
Warren.
happened. When the Vietnam War was popping off, he was already middle-aged. Ridiculous. Wait, who's older, him or Kissinger? Like, how is Kissinger still alive?
Oh, Kissinger's
I think
older.
Warren. I think
Oh.
Kissinger,
Kissinger is dead, isn't he?
Yeah,
is he dead?
Oh, sorry, he just died. That's right.
yeah, he was almost 100.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
Age. 100 exactly. Oh my God.
Oh Lord. So all
Yeah.
the bad people live longer.
Organ transplants. What can I say? There's a Chinese proverb in Mandarin. It says something like those who fear death live a long life because they're paranoid about it. Yeah.
Those who
And
fear death live a long life.
yeah, and then guys like me who go looking for trouble don't live as long. So yeah. Good stuff. Oh, 13F. Sorry, we're getting all off topic already. An hour in, no less. All right.
Dumps.
13F from Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire cuts stake in Apple and Paramount, dumps DR Horton, adds to energy giants Chevron and Oxy.
Oxy.
All right.
Oxy just had earning today. It went up
did it?
quite a bit.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it went
right.
up quite a bit. Yep.
So yeah, let's expand the charts here. Okay. All right. So let's just focus on the right column. Change from end of 23 to end of wait, Q4 to Q3 change. Okay. So Apple, he divested what? How many shares? Only 10 million shares. That's not a lot out of 900,000. Sorry,
Yeah,
900
he had to
million?
pay taxes. He had estimated taxes due.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Maybe. But that's a token amount. That's not
Yeah, that's hardly anything.
Yeah, okay. It's we don't have to worry about it too much, but it does say something. Like he's not holding on to it, right? So if we look at Apple, Apple is having some problems. It's the weaker side of the traditional FANG cluster, right?
Wanted
And
to move money to something that had better performance, like
yeah,
SMCI.
yeah. And on the momentum count here, on balance volume, it has been into a sell-off zone for the last couple of weeks at least. So, but yeah, Buffett doesn't look at it from a week-to-week basis, but yeah, it's interesting. Let's take a look at today's option stats, see if anything interesting here. Not really. Very mixed bag, middle of the road type stuff. Okay. All right, so that's Apple. Let's see what else moves. Chevron increased the stake, what, 15, what's that, like a 10% increase, 11% increase, Chevron? Occidental, he increased what? Oh, that's like 130% increase on Occidental. Wow, okay. So it's picking up steam here. And one line in Snowball that I still remember was it was like a daughter that remarked like Buffett maxes out the $10,000 cash gift for family members and he buys stock in your name and he puts it in their stocking stuffers. So they noted that every pick in the stocking stuffer always went up in value the next year, like without fail. So not to say that Occidental oil is the secret here, but I'm just repeating Snowball here. All right, let's see. Paramount Global, he sold off what? Like 40%? Okay. What is this? HP Inc? Is this HP? HP?
Yeah, it's one of the two HPs.
Okay.
I think that's the PC part of it. The other part's called HP Enterprise. So this is PCs and printers.
Okay. So he sold off like 70% of that. Sirius XM, he's holding that? That's nuts. And he's increasing? Wait, what is he smoking here? Radio's dying and he's getting into satellite radio that's proprietary and expensive. Like who listens to Howard Stern? Like nobody. What the hell? He increased his stake by 75%.
Yeah, it couldn't have been him. It's probably one of the young kids smoking something.
This I would almost short blindly. What's Sirius's ticker? Sirius.
Is it XSM? I don't know.
Siri. It's Siri. Jim Norton would immediately call this a penny stock for being under the $10 threshold and would already disregard this.
But Buffett is holding on to an under $10 stock.
Yeah, this is really out of character. And last earnings was what? A slight beat, but this has gone nowhere for a long time. And
He's letting some of his kids go awry. Some of those young successors he's trying to groom. This one ain't going anywhere.
right, and we're not alone in at least my bearish sentiment here. So this is a massive bearish move here. And this is the Hail Mary delta here, 0 to 20, 96%. So someone knows something, and we're gonna eat Warren Buffett's lunch. So I'm gonna write that down to scope this out a little bit later. Okay. Thank you, Warren Buffett. So yeah, some insanity, but yeah, Occidental Oil does seem very interesting. So maybe I need to go long there. Okay. And let's pull up those charts really quick. Oxy. Wow, this is I guess it's been near support, I guess, in the mid 50s. It's definitely out of favor. So he's buying it at a discount, I'd imagine. But yeah, on balance volume has been a disaster for the last 80 days of the last 90 in this quadrant here. And let's look at today's betting public. What are today's option stats? Very bullish. Not very, I'd say bullish, 0.35. Yeah, substantially bullish still. Okay, interesting. A decent dividend and a decent PE. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Oil is pretty crucial for infrastructure, and Warren's always been an infrastructure guy. Okay, cool. Anything else we can glean here? I guess that's it. Yeah. All right, good stuff. We got to go on to the rest of our news. All right, let's keep going. Earnings. What else is popping for today? Let's see. We got DraftKings, Coinbase, Roku, Trade Desk, and a lot of retail platforms have been doing fairly well, especially IB the other day. Let's see, we got AMAT, DoorDash. Oh, this might be in trouble with California's April raise, or maybe that's priced in. Who knows? Dropbox, okay. Yelp. This is an advertising mafia org, basically. God, I hate those guys. What else is fun? Digital Realty Trust. We talked about whatchamacallit, data center REITs the other couple weeks. So that's part of that. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. And yeah, so lots of fun trades. Okay, hope you guys are milking that. Let's talk about Lyft, which had
Hey, Warren,
Yes.
quickly, is Dash earnings after market today? DoorDash? Is it today after?
after close, yeah.
Today, right?
Yeah.
DoorDash.
Yeah. Oh, maybe this is a better question, but I have to type this out manually to find out who's the juiciest trade for the front volatility and then sort and toss. Is there an easy way to do this? Does anyone output front vol figures yet? Or is this a website opportunity for SVOG?
Probably a website opportunity.
Website opportunity, okay. SVLG website opportunity. We just need
Would
front
think
vol
that
figures.
he would have that, but
Because it's a two-part list that needs to be parsed for front vol and then weeklies. Because I don't want to trade monthlies. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing the 10, 15 minutes of work, but if someone already did it, like that would be a lot better. Let's see. Hey, welcome, Ed. Let me post the notes for you.
And maybe it's a question to ask on Saturday if anybody has a study or a scanner for it.
Excellent. Saturday question. Yeah.
Maybe people will share some of their favorite studies or scans.
And lots of our folks hold it close to the chest, though. So I mean, traders are an interesting bunch. You know, it's like herding cats. Let's see. Ed says some big picture views on Bitcoin, and let's pull this up. Let's take a look. Why is Zoom advertising? Okay. Let's see. Bitcoin ETF inflows.
That's the second post,
Oh,
not
yeah,
the first post.
Here's the first
there
one.
you go.
You really aren't bullish enough on Bitcoin. Oh, your existing wants Bitcoin based on data. That's completely obsolete. Your favorite chart squigglers and quad 4 enthusiasts are relying on data from period of time where a tiny fraction of global capital had access to Bitcoin. I think that's a fair statement. Historically, Bitcoin's never broken a 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level before the halving. Well, it just blew the doors right off the level. Blah, blah, blah. Let this be a warning. Meanwhile, trillions of investment capital sits frozen on the sidelines, unable to move for the next 60 days.
What is that? Hang on, Warren, can you scroll back to that?
Rumor has
Rows of
it
trillions
OTC
in
does.
investment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So it
back
makes you
down.
ballooned. So trillions in investment capital sits frozen. Wow.
Registered
Unable
investment
to-
managers have a 90-day waiting period before they can allocate to new investment products.
Oh.
RAs are watching Bitcoin run, twitching like
So
greyhounds.
RIAs, by the way, control, I think it's over 4 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, in assets. There's some number I was seeing the other day. If, you know, a number of them, which I think they've already done some surveys, if, 60%, I think, have noted that they will be putting Bitcoin into their clients' portfolios. And if they only just put 1% in, there's some crazy numbers out there. I think most people just aren't tracking. Have a look at the ETF inflows over the last, since the launch of the ETF, and note that most like long-term investors act slowly. I mean, sometimes we forget that, I think, as traders. Most of them haven't even woken up to this yet. I was just talking with an RA the other day, and they said, yeah, I want to allocate Bitcoin for my clients' portfolios. My clients want this, but I'm prohibited for doing so until this 90-day period has come into effect. So there's a lot of money still sitting on the sidelines.
I do
Ed, I have a
info on them.
question.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Warren. Why is that 90-day holding period for money to come into the ETF?
So, I mean, most traditional finance moves slowly and is very cautious. And basically, according to my friend who's an RIA, he said that's just the way that it is. There isn't any real reason. It's just this is traditional banking infrastructure. It moves slow. I mean, think of banking hours, right? So
it's to reduce pump and dumps.
Yeah.
That's the main reason. Yeah.
Or like to also like find a price discovery on the asset in the price.
Because you can trade against your clients. So if you tell them to buy and you're selling from under them, or then you'd rob them blind. So a 90-day window slows it down a bit.
Yeah, but a lot of this infrastructure was really set up. If you think about like the SEC protections, it was built for a different day and age. And,
by Joe Kennedy.
Prior to that, really, it was designed for the to address 1920s bucket shops, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The technology has moved on, the world has moved on, but the regulatory landscape has not. So
remember, mutual funds are governed by the 40 Act, which stands for 1940.
What is that? 40 Act, 1940.
That's the act that established mutual funds.
Wow, FDR, holy cow.
But getting back to the point of that post, it's a bit lengthy, but basically there's just a lot of factors people aren't even thinking about. One of the ones that I noted that was kind of stood out to me was that recently our friend Jeff Bezos has been hanging out with Michael Saylor, and apparently just sold 4 billion in Amazon stock. So is he buying Bitcoin ETF? Who knows? But I think there's a lot of money that just doesn't even realize it. One of the other big discussion items I've seen this week is what happens when MicroStrategy gets big enough, and it is getting close. I think you have to be is it 15 billion market cap or something to be listed in the S&P. Even Vanguard, which has stated we will never allocate anything to Bitcoin, they will be, because once MicroStrategy is listed on the S&P 500, then grandma is going to be allocating to Bitcoin, whether she knows it or not.
Excellent points. Let me add that to our crypto section here.
So, an MSTR, huge recovery swings here. A lot of volatility, but it was over 800, I noticed last night. Kind of wild. And it was down big before the ETFs as well. So it's just like Bitcoin. There's a lot of speculation, but people forget the fundamentals. I forget how much Bitcoin MSTR is up to right now, but it's over 190,000, right? So they are the only publicly traded company to hold it on their balance sheet. If that trend catches on, if Jeff is looking, if Elon starts looking, things could get interesting. So
I thought Elon had it on the balance sheet for a while and then took it off.
he likes
He
shit
did.
coining. Yeah, Elon
Yes.
likes shit coining. He likes Doge. And I actually think he's smart enough. He understands the proposition of Bitcoin, but if you're a grifter, if you're Warren Buffett or Munger, you don't like rat poison. And Bitcoin is rat poison. Charlie said it best. It's rat poison, and the rats don't like it. So if you're a rat, you're a dirty rat. Well, shit, no, of course you're going to want shitcoin, because you can issue, you can pre-mine, you can manipulate and pump and dump and do all of the shady shit that rats like to do. So yeah, you're not going to like it.
That's a great point. Very, very condensed and powerful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then the other one I posted, you guys won't like that one, I don't think, but it's facts are what the facts are. Just look at the chart. Gold ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs. So you're seeing the allocation here.
It is a disaster in the gold markets, 100%.
So I mean, like I said, I think it's nothing personal. It's just then you guys are numbers folks. You understand, just like in trading, right? You either took a good trade or you took a bad trade. The numbers don't lie. So the numbers at the moment are what they are.
Bitcoin and gold ratio. Holy cow. I've never thought of it that way. The Bitcoin.
So there's a law. I think is it called Gresham's law?
Yeah.
That talks about how good money chases out bad money or something along those
bad
lines.
money chases out good money.
That's it. Yeah. So I mean, obviously gold is still a lot better than holding shitcoin US dollars. I mean, or even worse. I mean, imagine a number of people have been posting charts of Argentinian pesos or lira or basically any other, and even Aussie dollars compared to real money. Those are the ultimate shit coins, right? And if you think about how many people are holding those shit coins on their balance sheet, oftentimes because they have no choice in many of these developing countries, and then it all starts to get sucked up to the top when people realize what they actually want in terms of their properties for money. So anyhow, I know that's sort of a bit philosophical and maybe not on the same time horizons that you guys like to look at, but just those are things I'm noticing on my timeline.
Excellent. No, those are super cool. Thank you, Ed. And welcome to our backtesting expert, Rob. We got some fun projects to talk about. Let me zoom up really quick. Let's see, where are they?
What do we got?
There is the Super Bowl phenomenon. So let me go back to that section. Where is it? Okay. So this was proposed back in '78 that a Super Bowl victory with an AFC team win predicts a bear market, but a NFC win predicts a bull market. And we probably need to look at these stats. But yeah, that'd be kind of fun to look at that, how S&P is impacted by the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then what else was there? What's the other back test we wanted to look at? Oh, index rotation. So Larry mentioned that SPX pit trader Bubba mentioned that big traders like to rotate out of the SPX into the diamonds and then back. Was it when it was overheated or underheated? I don't recall.
Yeah, that was, oh, in fact, there was a trade that they used to pairs trade it.
Mm,
There's a famous pairs trade on that. It's probably connected.
okay. So yeah, kind of interesting. And the diamonds is a tiny, tiny little index relative to everyone else, let alone the SPX, you know, big boy stuff here. So yeah, that'd be kind of fun to explore. But yeah, we can talk later about that. Cool. So yeah, lots of fun sector rotation stuff. We looked at Berkshire Hathaway's 13F, really interesting. And then yeah, and then we got Ed's Twitter post. Those are super cool. And then let's talk earnings now with Lyft. And oh, I was jumping ahead, but here's the latest inflow numbers that we were just looking at too. So Grayscale's still getting its face ripped off, but yeah, everyone else still has massive inflows. Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, let's look at Lyft, a multi-billion-dollar typo. Now, was this deliberate or not? Very questionable. So let's see. What exact line item got screwed over here? Let me see.
Margin.
Margin number, yeah, okay. Where is it? Okay. So EBITDA margin expansion. The company said it was 500 basis points year over year instead of 50. So it's 100 basis points to 1%. So this is 5% versus 0.15. No, 0.5, sorry. Yeah. So apparently smarter folks than us that had access to after hours markets were trading this and shorting the hell out of it and probably made a very pretty penny. And yeah, and then obviously I got to ask, so like, what isn't this like, you know, didn't someone proof this? You know, there's investor relation teams, there's entire finance teams that go over this, legal goes over this. Like, how do you miss this? Like, I don't even do SOX compliance, but even I know like the basic protocol. Like, how the hell did this happen? So I'm wondering if this was like, you know, a deliberate sabotage attempt, you know, and then you got to ask Q Bono, right? Who benefits? And then on the other side, Uber has major things happening, right? With their Persian CEO from, where did he come from? Expedia?
So another QA step,
Mm-hmm.
hand it to your trade desk and say, what would you do with this? And when they all say, buy until my hands bleed, you know there's a problem.
I like that.
Rob, mute one of your devices. You're on two.
I think he's good now. Yeah, looks like
It's good.
Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent point. I don't think companies even think about that. Well, does everyone even have a trade desk? Not all firms, right? No, not really. But yeah, they did. I mean, we'd be happy to look at their financials in advance, but yeah.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah. So yeah. So Uber's you know, obviously benefiting and they have a massive share buyback. And did anything else happen here? No, yeah, okay. So yeah, let's take a look at the tickers. But yeah, looks like Lyft is recovering. But yeah, I guess it's relatively okay. But Uber also had a huge pop. And we're still getting a bit of an echo, Rob. Oh, I think, okay, you're both muted. Okay, cool. Okay, but yeah, Uber's still picking up. Yes, let's look at, so on balance volume, it's still anemic, but yeah, there is some money flowing to Uber now. And Lyft has been in sell-off territory for a bit. But let's look at the option analytics and see if there is anything interesting. kind of in the middle of the road, kind of a mixed bag. And let's see if Uber has anything to say. About the same. Okay. No worries. Okay. So that's hilarious. Let's look at swaggy stocks and what the kids are trading. And shout out to Flaw for finding our 2 latest additions to our sentiment analysis. And Rob, if you want to scroll back up to our notes and look at our idiots of the week that I scoured from Wall Street bets and abroad, that was pretty fun. All right, so here we got the top stocks that the Reddit folks are talking about. So no surprises, Supermicro, Nvidia are the high flyers, and we've got some other related stuff. DraftKings in our post Super Bowl rush as well. And let's look at swaggy stocks itself. Here I like the positive versus negative readout here, so you can kind of gauge direction a little bit. But yeah, Supermicro, Nvidia, Tesla. What is day? Is this workday? Yeah. Okay. And let's go to, wait, where am I? Okay, where am I? Oh, here we go. Okay. Trading terminal. So here we also get a sense of direction as well. Nvidia getting red. Is Nvidia still red at the moment? Just slightly, right? Yeah, 1%. That's nothing. Okay. Folks are tripping. And if you look at inflows, momentum here is still really strong and hasn't slowed down at all. So it's just a day to catch up. But yeah, sure. Okay, this is cool. Here's ARM. Yeah. Okay, excellent. And oh, puts call mention ratio. Oh, this is kind of a cool breakdown. Interesting. Nvidia, SPY, Supermicro, ARM, Tesla. Okay, cool. Trend map. Oh, wow. Movement versus mentions. Interesting. Short activity. Wow. Okay. I will have to study this. Thanks again, Flav, finding this. Holy cow.
Well, what exactly was that again?
Okay, so this looks at Wall Street Bets, I guess the biggest internet forum on the Reddit forum, and this looks at sentiment data from each post. Instead of reading individual posts and trying to sort through like the top posts, this just looks at what people are mentioning. There's a word sentiment analysis. So you're looking at aggregate data instead of individual posts and things, because it can get really noisy. So this is basically a slice of Gen Z and millennials trading. And the primary broker is Robinhood. So this is the crowd that goes YOLO. So they bet, position sizing of 100% on whatever direction they think is going. And they get wiped out, massive boom and bust, and just general insanity. So this is the gambling side of retail. And we get an insight to see what they're doing.
Check on this site, if you hit strategies on top,
Mm-hmm.
it shows you, so it goes to like Congress, trading, and it shows you the Sharpe ratio of those historical trades. So you can sort by Kager, Sharpe ratio.
Wow.
And it has like anti-Twitter trade. So if you go down, they have these portfolios they track. So like inverse Kramer.
Yeah. Wow, this is incredible.
Like Wall Street bets momentum, inverse Twitter momentum. So you can see how it's done historically. It's kind of cool.
That's incredible. And like for Michael, like Wall Street Bets top 10. Generally, these gamblers lose their shirt and they're down historically, I guess, negative 21% here. And if you just inverse Kramer, for example, you're up 83%. Yay! But if you're Nancy Pelosi, or is it Paul Pelosi? It's 600%. Hilarious. And this is interesting. Wikipedia, something about viewing articles is bullish. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And of course, lobbying is the best ROI known to man. People won't say no. That's awesome. Let's see if we can sort this. Yeah, lobbying is the best. Top government contract recipients. So when you're closer to the money printer or or the guy who runs it, things are pretty good, according to Mr. Pelosi.
I mean, this is just Cantillon effect on full display as far as this is the case for Bitcoin in terms of, if you want to know how do you opt out of the Cantillon effect.
What is Cantillon effect?
There's
oh yeah, okay.
Richard Cantillon. Right?
Okay.
So basically it says exactly what you just said, is those that are closest to the money printer benefit the most. Those furthest from the money printer get harmed.
Excellent. Super cool. Thanks, Flav. Wow. That's amazing. How'd you find that?
I don't know. I come across stuff.
Okay. Super clutch. Wow. Congress always wins. Yeah. Congress sells also win. Oh my gosh. Wow. Excellent.
Inverse CNBC.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, I saw that. This is so cool. I'm gonna have a field day with this. All right. Awesome. All right, let's look finally to our official news cycle. So let's see. Anything to add to our black swan list here? So we got banking crisis, political assassination, cyber polygon style event, EMP/solar flare, nuclear threats, asteroids, viruses, disease X, permafrost zombie microbes, derivatives, time bombs, election volatility, civil unrest, food production threats/food inflation, supply chain issues, melting ice caps, oil and energy supply issues, shipping lane issues, earthquakes, and climate change. Did I forget anything else?
That's
Asteroids?
a really good list.
Asteroids,
Really
yeah.
good list. What
You
else?
forgot gamma ray bursts.
From what
If they happen to be
source?
pointed in our direction.
Is that from the sun, technically?
No, it's
No,
from
that's from
stellar,
yeah, that's from
from
stars.
galaxy.
Yeah.
They didn't cover this in Astronomy 101. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I don't think they knew about it then.
They occur when the core of a massive star runs out of nuclear fuel. Oh, so it's like red giants collapsing and then gamma ray burst everywhere? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, look at the picture.
Yeah, it's often from something collapsing into a black hole, but the gamma ray burst comes out of the poles from the star. And so if that pole happens to be pointed towards us, that could be a bad thing.
Okay. So we'll add that next to, I guess that would be bigger than a solar system event, right? So this would be, yeah, okay, gamma burst radiation from collapsing.
There was a gamma ray
black
burst,
hole.
when was it, last October or something, that I think it was 2 billion light years away, and it actually caused notable changes in the Earth's ionosphere for multiple hours.
There's a 50% chance such a lethal GRB took place within 2 kiloparsecs of Earth during the last 500 million years, causing one of the major mass extinction events. Oh, wonderful. Okay. I better link this here so anyone in the future can reference this. Okay. All right. Any other black swans? Oh, China? Is that a black
China,
swan?
yeah, I was gonna say like China invade
China liquidity
Taiwan.
China liquidity crisis / Taiwan Hail Mary. Okay. Okay. All right. In theaters of war, I think this is everyone. We got the Red Sea lanes. We got USA against like all of we united the Muslim factions somehow. Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Somalia, Egypt. Like, oh my God. Shia and Sunni allies. Oh my God. The Abbasids are rolling in their graves. What else? Ukraine versus Russia, Israel versus Gaza, South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait, the Korean Peninsula, and West Africa and Sudan. Have I forgotten any other theaters of war during this low VIX environment of 14?
IMAX theaters.
What? IMAX theaters.
Yeah, movie theaters. That's a joke.
Oh, theaters of war. Oh, sorry. I had my geopolitical hat on. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, if there's anything else, let us know. But yes, shout out to or going back to Monday, let's see.
Isn't it also farmers versus the EU?
Yes, we have that under civil unrest here.
Oh, the theaters of war.
Theaters of war. I guess that's the Eurozone then, right? Eurozone, Manure versus legislative buildings.
And so I thought I read
man.
something this last week about somebody saying that they were supposed to kill about 200,000 cows in Ireland or something. Was that the truth? I don't know if that was true or not, but that was the headline I came across. And 7 million, and it was for some global climate thingy.
Net zero, something.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Anyway, just kind of
Wow.
joking.
Okay. I think I like the Irish
Civil
butter.
War. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. We don't quite have time to delve into Belfast news, but if you guys haven't seen Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan's The Foreigner movie, it's incredible. And Pierce
What's
Brosnan
the
really
movie?
does The Foreigner.
I have that. That's a good movie.
It's a good movie. The Foreigner movie. It's of Jackie Chan versus James Bond. And they're both excellent. And Pierce Brosnan's character is
Foreigners.
looks just like the real guy. Pierce Brosnan, The Foreigner, the actual IMF, not IMF, is it whatchamacallit, the Irish rebel looks just like him. God, what's his name? A doppelganger. It's better search term. Oh, I won't have time to look it up. But
Are
yeah,
you
anyway.
talking about his old character Remington Steele, or
No. The
something?
guy he plays in The Foreigner, Pierce Brosnan's character, like the real guy looks just like him.
Okay.
Here, let me look up the name. We already started on this rabbit hole. Okay.
I should mention too that Jackie Chan's classic movie Police Story 3, Super Cop, is now available in both Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray editions.
Oh,
with lots of
kick-ass.
extras.
Oh, okay. He loves being a police officer. It's hilarious. Okay, we gotta go to Google. Brave sucks for this kind of image search. Okay, here's Liam Hennessy, the actual Irish rebel, and here's Pierce Brosnan. Kind of cool,
they
right?
look similar.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. So really good story and fairly accurate, which is crazy. Okay. But yeah, seeing the sad Jackie Chan is just a different vibe. It's kind of cool. Okay. But he's now a commie bootlicker, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, back to econ data. All right. CPI prints were hotter than expected as January as super core soared. And again, this is still a bogus way to calculate it. They swap out the basket of perishables, specifically meat, fuel, and rent, which are like the major components. So, but yes, this was printed hotter than expected, 3.7%, but it was transitory, blah, 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 blah. So this was a very bloody Monday, and yeah, that was good for the bears. Okay, cool stuff. We got lots of news. We'll skip through this. Mapping global GDP growth. by country in 2024. So let's check this out. Okay, let's enlarge this a little bit. We love to go international. All right, so dark green is good, red is bad. Let's see. So red would be Puerto Rico, Equatorial Guinea in West Africa. And the brightest ones are, let's see, Macau, 27.2%. What the crack? That's a bit shocking. Nifty 50 in India doing well here. China 4.6%. These are fake news. Let's see, US 2.1. Mexico is the #1 international trading partner now with US, right? And that's slated for 2.7% growth. Russia at 2.6. Japan 2.2, Japan in recession at 0.9. Where's the UK? 0.6. So those are both in recession while their stock market melts up. And let's take a look at high flyers of Macau. And let's go to Macau's #1 ticker, which is Melco, which is Stanley Ho's company. He employs like half of the city-state there, the Stanley Ho family. So here's Melco. And yeah, this is an easy way to get Macau exposure without a lot of China overlap, but it doesn't look really great to me on paper here. And I don't see any reason for Macau to be spiking up since their main job is washing money for Chinese elites, moving money to the West. And a lot of that is closed off now. So I don't understand where this prediction is coming from. But yeah, okay. Good stuff there. Just interesting. And on to more fun things. All right. Household debt tops 7.5 trillion, and Americans are feeling the strain. And that Maui family burnt through how many credit cards to finance their Super Bowl trip to buy $38 Gatorades? Like, I don't know why, but sure. And only to watch the Niners lose. Okay. Let's see. Mortgage balances increased from 112 billion and stood at 12.25 trillion at the end of the year. Auto loan debt rose from 12 billion to 1.61 trillion in Q4. Student loan balances were comparatively flat in Q4 at 2 billion. This is the one sector that is not affected by bankruptcy law. This sticks with you forever like herpes. And students don't understand that. I don't know why. And where's the default rates? Oh, here we go. Aggregate, let's see, default. Okay. Aggregate delinquency rates rose by 3.5%, with approximately 8.5% of credit card balances and 7.7% auto loans transitioning into delinquency. Yeah, so if auto loans hit 12%, that sector implodes, last I recalled. So yeah, we're halfway there, past halfway. And serious delinquencies of more than 90 days past due are the highest since 2011. So trouble in paradise indeed. All right, let's take a deeper dive to the 18 to 39 demographic. So this would be Gen Z and older and younger millennials, including myself. Okay, credit card debt surged to a record high in fourth quarter. Let's see. So now it stands at 17.5 trillion for credit cards. Okay, we just went over the mortgage figure. HELOC, assuming the millennials have a house, balances on HELOCs increased by 11 billion to 360 billion. So that's not a lot of money. Again, a lot of millennials don't have homes. And credit card balances that are 1.13 trillion increased by 50 billion, so that's 4.6%. And then we went over the auto figure of 1.6. And here's the student loan debt, also 1.6. So yes, a lot of pain. And this group is getting laid off like crazy. And I've been tracking the layoffs subreddit for fun. And I was downvoted into oblivion when someone asked, why is this happening? And I explained cheap credit and the change in the tax law with R&D expenditures. And people didn't like that answer. I guess everyone that's unemployed would prefer comforting lies over harsh truths. So I thought that was funny. Okay, let's get out of here. And where are we on the emoji guide to investing? Depends if you're holding NVIDIA or Supermicro or crypto. I guess for everyone else, you're probably right here. And what's in the chat? Oh, Ed has to take off. Okay, no worries. We are grateful to Ed to pop in with his crypto news. So that was pretty cool. And we looked at the crypto inflows. Oh, we'd love to get Ed's point of thought on the Ethereum edition. But yeah, Franklin Templeton, which is headquartered in San Mateo, next to Whole Foods, is joining the filings for an Ethereum ETF. So we'll watch that. And let's go to domestic news. This was a premium article, but I just grabbed a snapshot of the title at least. Tax refunds created a recession of 57%, sparking fears about collapse in low-income spending. No surprises there. And then now let's talk about the Super Bowl. And I did a small bet on the Super Bowl, and I posted it in Discord. And I'm an option trader. I don't do sports betting. So I don't know like what money lines are, over unders and spreads. Like I don't care. I just know poker and trading, and that's about it. And sports betting always seemed like for the plebeians to begin with. So yeah, let's start with what happened. Obviously, you guys know the score, but to me, I was looking at this from a conspiracy standpoint, and as a DJ as well, Taylor Swift's like pop resurrection never seemed really organic, and especially her kind of forced relationship with Travis Kelce just seemed kind of bizarre. So let me back up some of the items here. So oh, I thought this was funny. Taylor Swift produces her 138th ton of CO2 emissions in 3 months to see her 13th soulmate, Travis Kelce, while our paper straws are dissolving in iced teas in California. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, it seemed like a more of a straighter game of pool for this Super Bowl, at least. It wasn't crazy ref calls or anything. But just to look at the amount of advertising money spent on Mr. Travis Kelce has been insane. Like he's known as Mr. Pfizer because of all his Pfizer commercials. And Taylor Swift brings a lot of new eyeballs to football, which has been a slow disaster since they've become very woke in the past. And subsequently, the Super Bowl parade, gunshots rang out, and maybe this wasn't quite like a Las Vegas, country concert styled shenanigan. It's kind of interesting for the timing, and I saw this meme, and I had to share it here. So, you guys no doubt saw I can't pronounce his name, Bobolinsky. He started snitching and calling out Big Joe, and then conveniently, no disaster is wasted, and there's bodies all of a sudden in Kansas City. So a little interesting. And then this was kind of bizarre. Someone was looking at the exact audio between Taylor and Travis once he won, and someone typed it out, and the script is kind of bizarre. Thank you for coming, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for flying for halfway across the world. You're the best, baby. Oh my God, you're the absolute best. Was it electric? It was unbelievable. It's almost like these actors, these they almost forgot their lines. So I thought this was kind of interesting. So, if I won the Super Bowl, I'd be saying a lot of things than what this was. So kind of bizarre. And then Travis Kelce getting in the face of his coach. I thought that it was like a kind of deliberate way to like just get headlines and get airtime. So I don't know, hard to say. But who benefits? Obviously, Taylor is is a Biden fan, so the Oval Office and incumbent benefits, Pfizer benefits, and NFL benefits between their two relationships. And if we know anything about Hollywood, a lot of these power couples aren't real, especially like, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez 2.0, which is disgusting to me, but hard to say. So yeah, knowing this, I put $100 bet on the Chiefs, and I didn't know sports betting was quite complicated for setup and logistics. So called my boys in Vegas to put on a trade for me. So Yeah, that was kind of cool. Yeah. Anyone else comments, questions on the Super Bowl? Oh, the 49ers hotel had a 6 a.m. fire alarm get pulled on them, and it rang for 18 minutes. And that's some bullshit. So
Wow.
that's like they were just rigged to fail from the start. But I caught the highlights. Special teams kicked ass on both sides, and it was the 49ers game to lose. So at least from what it seemed, but didn't seem that rigged to me. But still, with the amount of advertising dollars stacked on the Chiefs side, it seemed like they really wanted them to win.
So Warren, when you said it's rigged, it means that the 49ers also in cooperation with them to be rigged, collaborate with them, basically. To lose on this game, right?
There's a lot of moving pieces, right? If you defang the 49ers, Mahomes will clean up, right? So he's the offensive demigod here. And he got spanked by Tom Brady very nicely a bit ago, but I'd say he's, with 3 Super Bowl rings, he might be the next coolest quarterback. I mean, he has a long way to go to catch up to Tom Brady, but yeah. So yeah, you could strengthen the Chiefs or you can weaken the 49ers, and even doing one-legged on that trade would work, right? And yeah, like doing sleep deprivation, that's an old torture technique. So yeah. Do I wish I put down more money? Not really. I thought just it was fun to like risk $100. All right.
How much
Cool.
did you win? How much did you make? For
110? No, let me think.
How does it work?
Well, I have no idea. I showed you guys the screenshot. I don't know how like the money line works. If you guys are on the Discord, where is it? Yeah, okay. So yeah, risk 100, win 90, and this was placed in the second half. So if I got the whole game, it would have been better. But then in the first half of the game, I was scrambling to find someone who could place the bet for me, and the setup is not as streamlined as it seemed to me. And I've never sports bet anything, so yeah.
Conrad bet 30, he made 100. He won.
Oh, okay, cool. What did he use?
Yeah.
Like DraftKings, or did he have a friend in Vegas or something?
I have no idea how he
Sports
did it.
bookie. Yeah, like I don't
Maybe.
understand. And then I saw the Vegas
never done
odds.
it.
Vegas had the 49ers to win. And Vegas generally never loses, but they did lose on this case. So yeah. Cool. All
What
right.
do you mean Vegas had? I don't understand that statement. Vegas had the Niners to win.
The Vegas, like if you look at all the odd makers, everyone has their bias, and Vegas was biased
they
to
don't.
49ers.
A bookie with a bias is a bookie out of business.
I was watching it. It was changing minute by minute. It was going back and forth during the game.
I mean, pre-game, so before Super Bowl, Vegas.
That's not Vegas doing that. That's the betting public doing that.
No, the Vegas odd makers also have their pick.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They do at the initial set. After that, it's over. It's like a market maker. A market maker.
That's what I'm mentioning. Yeah, pre-game.
No. Not pre-game. At initial line set 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks prior to this game, the line was set. After that, it was the market maker taking bets on both sides. They have no skin in the game. A market maker holding inventory is a market maker out of business. A bookie with an opinion is a bookie out of business.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about
It's
sports
just like
betting.
a market maker. You know market makers. Market makers don't hold inventory or they're out of business.
Yeah.
This is all these guys are is market makers, shuffling from one side to the other.
Okay. No, I get it. Okay, it's 12. Like we gotta fly through all of our articles. All right, we got like 30 to go. All right, let's go quickly. Okay, Waymo, one driverless car got set ablaze in San Francisco, so people are getting pissed at the constant gridlock and whatnot. And then to Larry's point earlier, where was that article?
That's a good article right there.
Which one?
The San Francisco Chronicle one you just had up.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that. And then Waymo also had a truck collision. So the LiDAR doesn't understand how towing works and hit a backwards facing pickup truck. So yeah, this was yesterday in Phoenix. Okay. And then more San Francisco news. San Francisco faces up to $190 million in surprise homeless hotel charges as feds renege on promises. So sanctuary city woes, cry me a river here. But yeah, very exciting. London Breed has a
Hotel
lot to
charges.
handle. Yeah, surprise. Luxury hotels, 3 hots and a
From
cot.
what? From what hotels?
Uh,
All of them?
Tenderloin focused ones. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, all kinds of probably Tenderloin, Castro, The Mission. Yeah, I haven't had any DJ requests for anything in San Francisco, so I haven't DJed there since COVID, so I wouldn't know, unfortunately. All right, U.S. retail sales plunge in January, worst year-over-year growth since COVID lockdown. We'll skip that. JP Morgan pulls out 68 trillion out of more ESG related funds. So that sector is dying a quick death. Fun things with Boeing. Boeing plane deliveries fell 29% in January amid MAX jet crisis. And let's pull up their ticker. It's 205 at the moment. It's kind of a mixed bag, neutral-ish on today's option stats. And let's see, they are trading well below their 500-day moving average. Sorry, 200-day moving average, and just bumping its head against like the 212s and 213 zone. And in terms of momentum, pretty much dancing at the 0 line. Wow. Okay, might be a fun time to short these guys again. But yeah, we'll keep our eye on these guys. And JetBlue has a new boss with a 10% stake from Mr. Corporate Raider himself. And let's look at JetBlue's ticker. What is it? JBlue? Is that the ticker? Yeah. Okay. Their main hub is New York, I believe. And yeah, lots of inflows at the moment. Okay. And it's about to touch its 500-day moving average here, if it can hold it. But let's look at the overall airline ETF, which is Jets. And as a whole, I guess it's doing well. Bouncing off the 200-day and 500-day here. Nice little staircase of green dojis. So yeah, a bit on the mend, I guess. Okay. This is disastrous. California news. Illegals getting badges / military uniforms to get citizenship. And this reminds me of the fall of the Roman Empire. And let's pull up that part. Okay, so this is about 380. Theodosius was unable to recruit enough Roman troops, relying on barbarian warbands without Roman military discipline or loyalty. And that obviously didn't end well. And eventually, Rome fell to the Goths and the Vandals, and they sacked Rome eventually. And then came the rise of Carthage and everything else. So yeah, not a great parallel with the fall of the Roman Empire. But this does remind me of Starship Troopers, with being a citizen and a soldier. So, but I mean, do you really want Chinese nationals and former Chinese military guys putting on U.S. military? Putting on.
In the United States, it started in the Revolutionary War, and it's been happening in every conflict since.
Yeah, I'm fairly conflicted. And then I saw stats that in New York City, New York PD is now the largest demographic group are Dominicans. So yeah. And I guess the Dominican gangs are going legit in a way. Yeah. All right, cool. We haven't talked about Walmart in a while. So Walmart wants to buy Vizio TV and get into the smart TV game. And there's a whole ecosystem of ads and selling data off of from user info and whatnot. But yeah, let's look at Walmart. We haven't talked about them in quite a bit. The last mentions, I think, was just Walmart closing stores in China you know, adjacent to Carrefour shutting down shutting down Chinese operations as well. So yeah, looks like Walmart's recovered from their major dip last year, and yeah, it's right at its peak. Interesting. Okay. And how is the betting market today looking at Walmart? Fairly bullish. Okay. Good stuff. And let's see, Rob is sharing immigrants in the military, a history of service. Interesting. I wonder how they vote after they leave this armed services. Cool.
Or while they're in, there's nothing that says they can't vote while they're in.
Do they get citizenship right when they sign, or is that at the end?
Oh, all those people. That's a different question. I thought you meant just soldiers in general.
Oh, okay. I mean, for immigrants, I mean, for the nationalists, the converts to American military. Just kind of curious how they vote.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Oh, the fun stuff. Tesla. All right. Let's look at, before we go look at Tesla car sales at Hertz, let's look at Hertz itself. Hertz Global Holdings. Looks like it's a very bearish day. And this was the world's only bankruptcy IPO, if I recall correctly. And looks like it's a pretty dull trading session. And it's quite the dog still. Okay. And let's look at Tesla. Tesla has shrinking margins and lots of competition, and business has not been good. And yeah, momentum is right at the zero line. Okay, interesting. And let's look at Hertz car sales as a whole, because we've been tracking their 20,000 unit liquidation. Okay. All right, so let's find the cheapest Tesla. 18,000. Wow. Not only have we broken the $20,000 threshold, everything's under the everything is under the $20,000 threshold. 18,000, 19,000. Holy cow. There are a lot of pissed off Model 3 owners with their resale value being decimated. Oh my God. Car gurus probably can't even keep up with this. All right, let's look at crazy mileage. Let's see. 96,000, 96,000, 95,000. Any 100,000? No, I guess their rule is you gotta unload before 100,000. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right, everything is like 88,000 and higher. All right, that's crazy. All right, let's take a snapshot. This is the cheapest one. All right, and let's see last week's cheapest. 19.8. Yeah, that was the cheapest. Okay, that's insane. I'll add it here. $215 cheapest. Okay. Okay, 18.4. That's crazy. I wonder what's its battery status like. Oh, we gotta look at the count. Last week was 777. We have 712. Okay. So they're selling these off. That's fascinating. Okay. Count. Oh, 215 counts. Okay, so we're 50 units down. And I'm sure the rest have to be patched up, painted, and cleaned, and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that's Tesla for you with Hertz car sales and liquidation fundamentally. Okay, let's go to our next articles. All right. Coors is trying to eat Bud Light's lunch here and are increasing ad spending. So let's take a look at their ticker. Let's start with Bud. This ticker is a little bit complicated. This is not quite just Budweiser, but it's a large conglomerate. I believe the majority stockholders are not even US based. So yeah. Looks like they've recovered a bit, but kind of all over the place. So yeah, they're at in the 60s. Let's look at Coors. I forgot their ticker. What is it? Oh, TAP. Yeah, okay. TAP. And which one's bigger? I'm not even sure. We got to go to our Homer Simpson watch list. Homer Simpson. All right, here we go. Costco is the largest wine seller in the United States. Here's Budweiser, and here's Coors. Okay, so market cap wise, we're looking at 13 billion versus 125 billion. But this is the larger conglomerate. It's not just beer. Okay. Here's the Constellation brand. This is the New Jersey Mafia brothers who went legit. Here's Diego out of Mexico, a lot of tequila and other beers. Here's Boston beer. We used to trade this a lot in 2020. Okay. But yeah, here's Tap trying to gobble up some market share. Okay. Kind of a boring sideways trade. I guess some calendars will be fun on this. Okay.
Did you have SAM in there list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam right here, bottom right. Tiny
Got it.
market cap, 4 billion.
Got it.
But Sam's they did really kick off the hard seltzer movement when everyone was day drinking at home because of COVID lockdowns. So they started that, and then we had all the other copycats after that. But yeah, hard lemonades and like hard seltzers, like ugh. Okay, now other fun domestic stuff. Best-selling cars. Obviously the Accord, the Camry, and the F-150's got to be up here. So let's take a look. So best of 2023 got $750,000 for the F1 series. Sorry, the F series. Silverado, the Ram, the RAV4, very popular. Model Y, very popular. CRV, GMC, Camrys here. Nissan Rogue, that's a surprise. Jeep Grand Cherokee, that's a surprise. Okay. Trucks and SUVs see the highest sales. That's pretty popular. And let's see what else. Yeah, okay. And we haven't looked at Ford in a while. Let's take a look. Too big to fail, right? It's aiming for its 200-day moving average quickly. Kind of volatile, but strong inflows at the moment. Okay. All right. So that's domestic news.
I've been hearing that Ford's having a rough time with their F-150 electrics.
Oh yeah, those are a disaster. They can't tow jack shit. And if you buy a pickup truck, especially that one, for how much? Let's see how much that excels for. F-150 Lightning Electric, MSRP. If you're spending, $80,000 and it can't tow anything, someone's going to be pissed. Oh, was it 50,000 for the Pro model? Okay. Oh, 91,000 for the Platinum. Still, buying a truck that expensive and it can't tow anything, that is insane, especially with rising electric costs all across the board.
They can all tow, and for 95 miles.
Yeah. And then
they tow really well.
and then how long will it take
miles.
to recharge? 2-3 hours?
And then the stations don't have a pass-through, so you have to take off the trailer, spend half an hour, and go charge it, and then put it back on.
Oh, nuts. All right, let's shift to the dumpster fire that is commercial real estate. And we can look at our REITs to see how to play this. So let's see. Sales prices for office buildings in key cities that plunged the most. San Francisco, number one. Poop is bad for business. Who would have known? Manhattan, rats are bad for business. Boston, illegals are bad for business. And they're sleeping in Logan Airport and whatnot. London, I guess lack of Russian oil money is hurting them. Los Angeles, Tokyo, Amsterdam, Paris, and Sydney. Okay. The office market has an existential crisis now. It's a $3 trillion asset class. It's probably worth 1.8 trillion. In 2024, we're at the 5th stage of grief. People are now in acceptance. So if you've seen the stages of grief, there's 7. Let's pull it up really quick. Okay. So shock, stage 1, denial, stage 2, anger, stage 3, bargaining, stage 4, depression, stage 5. Wait, am I going? And then wait, did I read this in the wrong order? I think they built this in the wrong order. Okay, here we go. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Okay. And how bad is acceptance? Let's go to some better figures here. Here's current years of supply based on 2015 to 2019 average net absorption. Class A office is 18 years. Class B office, 23 years. Apartment, 6.5. Industrial, 4.9. Senior housing, 7.7. Storage, 3.3. Retail mall, 7.2. Retail other, 4.4. And retail strip malls, 3.9. That is insane. Oh my gosh. People are going to get devastated and wiped out here. And here's an interesting case study of just that. Let's jump to this article first. All right, this 250,000 square foot complex in, I think, where was this located? 262K square foot building in Ohio just sold for 2.4 million or $9 a square foot. Rob, what was your square footage price per month when you had your cash your cash checking places? Do you loosely remember that?
No, I wouldn't. I don't know.
For the retail stuff that I've been looking at
One?
for the arcade concept, it fluctuates like $4 to $6 a square foot in Newark, California.
Yeah, okay.
It's about $3 in Castro Valley.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. And they're selling the entire building. They're selling it for $9 a square foot. That's
Wow.
crazy. So it is a meltdown. That's Ohio for you. Let's look at the residential side. Also pretty diabolical. So this will look at the top metros to buy and the worst metros to buy. So people are buying now for first-time home buyers in Pittsburgh, Birmingham, Austin, San Antonio, and Jacksonville. Here's the other thing that they didn't factor in: crime statistics. These are also extremely high crime areas. And but yeah, this is just looking at cost of mortgages and cost of capital. And if we look at worst areas, the bottom, San Jose, worst metro. Number 2, San Diego. Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Anaheim, number 3. Denver, number 4. Riverside, number 5. Number 6, San Francisco, Oakland, and Hayward. And then Portland, not far behind. So, and in Seattle here, Phoenix. So yeah, they're in trouble. And with that, we got to look at ITB, which is the Home Builders ETF, and see how that's shaping along. It's still trading at really serious highs. It blows my mind. But yeah, this is the supply side. So the paint, the drywall, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's get out of real estate. Let's go to tech news. All kinds of fun stuff. Lots of stuff to talk about. Semiconductors. We got to speed up and get out of here so people can do their earnings trades. All right. So here's the S&P if you exclude tech. So it's actually trading at a historical low. So yeah, bam. Here's from Bloomberg. All right. But if you do factor in the high flyers, then we're talking about NVIDIA and Supermicro and whatnot. So let's look at NVIDIA right now. Looks like it's extended its losses for the day. Let's look at SMCI then. Still holding its gains. Holy cow. Wow. Still up 12% for the day. And maybe it's done for the day, maybe not. But wait, let me think. What time is it in New York? Almost 3:30? So it's funny that it peaks at lunchtime. And then as the food coma kicks in and people are pounding coffee, the trading is slowing down. But on balance volume momentum is still not letting up a single bit. So maybe tomorrow we'll add a new gap up candlestick. Let's see who wants to gamble. And let's see the folks trying to call the top here. Yeah, they're desperately trying to call the top, 0.924, and almost parity between calls and puts. Yep. But yes, if you factor in all of that, then yes, tech is still booming. And NVIDIA has passed Google in market cap, which is kind of crazy. It's the third most valuable company in the US. Let's go to the heat map itself and look at that visually. That's kind of crazy. And then we got Jason, CEO of NVIDIA, telling everyone, hey, please don't do a startup. It's too crazy. So yeah, here's NVIDIA, market cap 1.8 trillion. Google 1.76. Wow, it's real. That's incredible.
They have this map wrong because they have Google twice, but it's only the size of one.
Oh yeah. So yeah, oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, 1.79, 1.76. Yeah, incredible. Amazon 1.764. Wow. And Jeff Bezos selling off isn't helping either. Okay. All right. And we should probably augment this image that Ross showed us last week with Super Micro. Maybe I can do that later. But yeah, this was fun. But yeah, lots of stock stuff. We can skip it. We'll just read the headlines. Cisco is firing 5% of its workforce. And let's look at the layoff data as a whole really quick. Actually, I think they had a pardon me, I think they had a readout here. Or was that in labor? Oh, it's here. Let's fast forward a little bit. There's a good tech readout for everyone's layoffs, I think. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So Cisco firing 5%, right? Here's everyone else in the recent news. Twitch, 35%, Roomba, 31%, Hashboro, LA Times, Spotify, Levi's, Xerox, Qualtrics, Wayfair, Duolingo, Washington Post, Snapchat, eBay, Business Insider, PayPal, Okta, Charles Schwab, DocuSign, UPS, BlackRock, Citigroup, and Pixar. Like, there's no end to this. This layoff is going to be pretty serious. And if we look at layoffs as an aggregate here, let's do our math here. So 38,000 for 2024. Oh, I need a calculator. 38,000 plus 262,000 from 2023 plus 2022 plus 16500. We're talking 250,000 people. So these are all white collar tech jobs across maybe 2,000 companies. Pretty serious. Holy cow. Yeah. Instacart, another 7% on Tuesday. Mozilla, 5%. Wow. Pure Storage laying off folks. Okay, wow. Get around 30%. This is the car rental company. Wow. Grammarly, 230. Wow. Incredible. Oh, Meetup. Did I say Meetup? Laid off someone. Okay. And I tried to resurrect the SVOG Meetup page, but they want money for a hefty subscription. It's like $13 a month. And I said, F you. Okay, let's jump back to tech news. We're running out of time. We'll just speed through headlines. So Michael Burry tried to short semiconductors, didn't work, got his face ripped off, and yeah, our favorite autistic contrarian investor is not doing too hot, but he'll probably rebound. Toyota is not going all in with EV tech. They like fuel cells and other stuff. So yeah, they might be poised to do better. There is an EV slowdown, but hard to say. At least Korea, there's only one Tesla that was sold in all of January, which is hilarious to me. I know the Koreans have like huge nationalistic pride with their local brands, but still, that's really bad. But yeah, they're scared of fires. All right. We're talking about Jeff Bezos to death today. He's still unloading. He has to buy a lot of plastic for his mistress/wife. And the Apple Vision Pro has been spiking in search trends for returns. And I guess influencers, milked it for the first couple of days. And then, yeah, $4,000 is a pretty hefty big ticket item. So they're just returning it to Apple. So you'll see that on the clearance rack pretty soon. And then Zuckerberg did like a critique of it. You can catch the video on YouTube. I mean, he has an obvious conflict of interest, but what he didn't say was, hey, my AR and VR goggles does pornography. So that's his pitch, I guess. And speaking of AI girlfriends, kind of be careful here because your AI girlfriend on your phone and computer and Apple Vision Pro is mining you for your data. So be careful with that. And so is your Bluetooth integration with your car as well. That is extremely insecure. All right, cool. Let's talk some labor stuff. US companies are laying off like never before, and this is popping up in earnings calls all across the board. There's a lot of code names for it, sort of like fructose corn syrup. There's lots of synonyms. But yeah, operational efficiency, human resource, reallocation, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line, lots of layoffs. And yeah, let's skip to international news. As we talked about before, Japan and UK are in recession and the market is melting up. We'll skip the stuff. The Tucker Carlson and Putin interview was really fascinating. Whatchamacallit? There's memes of Putin, going like, if he has to explain something, he has to, explain first that, 4 billion years ago, the Earth was in the cooling phase. And like he sets up a lot of contextual knowledge on the Ukraine situation, which I think is warranted, but it's kind of, it was unexpected. People thought he was filibustering, but he wasn't. And I posted like a good blog article from Armstrong Economics. You guys, if you guys want to take a look. And in essence, the West, after destroying the Nord Stream pipeline, is going to provide their own pipeline through North Africa. And looks like that Trans-Saharan gas line pipeline is finally getting funds and construction resources allocated towards it. So hopefully Europe will not freeze the next winter. Okay. And then right on schedule, Iran has a major gas line explosion. And who is echoing? Oh, welcome, Alan. I'm just gonna mute you really quick. All right, cool. So yeah, I think the usual suspects did this, and it's interesting that someone noted that when natural gas hits like $2, it tends to things tend to explode for some reason. Oh, what's the futures NG? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so when prices dip below 2, yeah, plants tend to go up in flames. Right on schedule. Would you concur with that sentiment, Dave? Dave might be away from his computer. Okay, all good. This is a great headline. Who had Russian nukes in space on their election year disruption bingo card? So this is more of a anti-satellite warfare, but yeah, good times. And don't forget, we have non-nuclear weapons just orbiting space. It's called the rods of God. They're giant tungsten rods the size of telephone poles. And due to Earth's acceleration, they're basically nuclear weapons without the nuclear fallout.
Those are known as kinetic kill vehicles.
Oh, we got that. That is a fun search term. Kinetic kill vehicles. Wow. Kill vehicle. Space weapon development. Wow. Good stuff. And I hear orders popping off. Oh, someone bought my single upstart call for a penny. Yay. Okay. That means upstart's on the move? Yes, it is. Okay, slightly. Okay, well, okay. Sorry, Apple Watch went off. And then speaking of the Putin and Tucker interview, they called out Boris Johnson for nuking the peace deal 18 months ago. And the real travesty here is Boris Johnson's hairstylist, because sweet Jesus, why would you wake up and be like, this is my look for the day? Oh God. And we can't even get started with UK dentistry, but yeah, we don't have time for that. Cool. I found this interesting thread on container ships on like a Red Sea Lane article on Zero Hedge. And I just dropped it in here. That was pretty interesting. So we don't have quite time to go over it, but I just left it in here. Cool. US is rising quickly as a top global oil producer, much to the dismay of the Saudis. And we got to fly through this. We talked about this in our crypto component. Lots of money rotating out of gold into crypto. And Peter Schiff is tearing his hair out. And Warren Wong is on suicide watch. Okay. China. Fun stuff. The markets are frozen right now, but it's still under for the Shanghai index, well below its 3,000 targets. It is in free fall still, but yeah. And let's look at the RMB itself. I think it was 3.1 last time we looked. 3.19. Okay, still there. And yes, the Chinese stock market is closed due to the Lunar Holiday New Year, and they had it float up before they closed. So I should have anticipated that. I forgot. My bad. And major highlight from last week, girls are selling themselves like crazy since there's youth unemployment between 60 and 80%, depending on which city and province. So yeah, the world's oldest profession. Good stuff. China is doing a lot of news propaganda and subversion. No surprises there. They're doing it all across the board. What else? Border Patrol is reporting horrendous numbers. And we're going to look at this. Let me fix this link here. Okay. All right, let's look at this. So current year-to-date figures have exceeded 2023 cumulative crossings for Chinese nationals. That is insane growth. Insane. Unheard of. And the year before that, it was never happened. So yeah, 2021, only 450 was never done. Like, my family's intimately involved in this business at like formerly at a former level. And this has never been talked about at the dinner table. I've never heard of this ever in Macau. No one wants to go to the southern border. But now the current pathway, and it's being broadcasted on TikTok with instructions. You fly to Ecuador, there's no visa needed for Chinese nationals, and then they make the long trek up north through buses, trucks, and by foot. And yeah, it is insane. So year to date, 20,000 Chinese nationals. And I'm trying to find a video. A bunch of folks talked about on Zero Hedge, but it looks like it's been taken down. But during the lineup, when they're doing roll call count across the border after they cross into the US side, you can tell who's military, obviously, because they stand at attention. And it's really obvious, especially with the buzz haircut and everything. So I'm trying to find a video. I haven't found it yet. If I do, I'll report about it next week. So yeah, it's crazy. And these are all, military age men, sleeper cells, and all kinds of shenanigans. So if you meet like weird guys at 99 Ranch that speak really bad English, but they can speak a little bit of Spanish, like run. Yeah. Okay.
So Warren, what are they doing here in the US? Are they trying to spy on us? What are they doing?
No, if they're spying, at least that's nonviolent. No, they're gonna take out infrastructure, power stations, substations, blow up dams, bomb post offices. Oh, why did I say that?
What?
There's recording and transcribing services on Zoom. But yes, they will do infrastructure damage and resource denial when it really comes down to a formal declaration of war. But we've already been under total war scenarios for the last decade and a half. So yeah, it's really ramped up into overdrive. And this is like the fastest growing segment of illegal migrants across the southern border. And that's horrible. And then the problem is, like, people don't think Asians are criminals, but this will destroy Asian PR in the United States. So like, Wani, you and I will be affected by this because we all look the same. Like, people don't know. Yeah. So
right.
Yeah. So this is not good. And if the Asians don't police their own, then no one else can do it because only we know who's who. So it's not a good thing. So yeah. So but yeah, as you guys know, it's the dragon year, it's the wood dragon, and supposedly there's going to be a bump in dragon babies for the year, but it's hard to say. People are losing their homes left and right. So like, there's so many mortgage defaults in China that people are giving away their homes so long as you pick up the rest of the amortization. But then the challenge of that is property rights are very loose in China. So you might get, burned by the seller and the developer and the bank. So it's really a cluster F in China. So yeah, supposedly, dragon year is the auspicious year and you want a baby born in the year of the dragon for good luck and whatnot. Like, in Chinese culture, it's the best out of the 12 animals of the zodiac, but whatever. Yeah. So this might not come to fruition. But yeah, we talked about Chinese solar in the past. It's like it's an RMB a watt, which is just insane. And yeah, Chinese state-owned enterprises have been subsidized by Beijing for a long time. So the U.S. wants to enter that field, but it's hard to compete when you're fighting someone attached to a money printer. And Chinese Bitcoin miners are moving to Ethiopia for cheap energy. So maybe this is just the leftover of the Belt and Road Initiative, just to squeeze out some last ROI before everything collapses. And then no surprises here, lots of Chinese espionage still happening. So yeah, I hope HR managers are waking up to this, but seems like this keeps happening left and right. And Xi Jinping supposedly has pancreatic cancer. He's been noted for substantial weight loss. And we've reported on his day-to-day habits before, where he drinks like 2 bottles of Maltai every single night. So that definitely can't help him. So this alcohol is just insane. It's almost like liquefied kerosene. It can power diesel engines. It's generally, 50-something% alcohol content. And it tastes like rubbing alcohol. It's horrific. Yeah. So that's Chinese news. And sorry, I went over time, and I know a lot of us have to prep our earnings trades. I haven't even compiled the list yet, but if anyone else has reported that, please paste that into our Discord or chat. And yeah. Cool. Meanwhile, let me share the notes with you guys. And yeah, let me see if I can export this. And I don't know if it'll be under whatchamacallit, 25 megabytes, because that's the limit.
Should all be running now.
Oh, sorry. My free Wi-Fi timed out. Okay.
We thought the Chinese got
The Chinese
you.
got to me. That is still a strong possibility. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, let me stop recording.